Prohibition sent U.S. citizens south to Ciudad Juárez in search of spirits, giving it the nickname the Roaring City. Today, that spirit is alive and well with Pachuco culture. And it's alive through spirits.
Salud.
Toasting with a margarita in the bar where it was invented.
Classic with a classic with a classic with a classic.
Exacto.
And you can't visit Ciudad Juárez without trying something else it's famous for.
The super famous Winnie Burrito from Juárez.
Keep that applause going because I'm bringing the Borderlands to my kitchen with classic nachos draped in melty cheese and juicy carne asada.
Wow, this is great.
Then I'm teaching you the iconic El Compa shredded beef and egg burrito.
Breakfast of campeones. What a feast! So succulent. These beans are insane.
I love dancing. Like cooking, it tells a story without words. Plus, it's just fun. And who better to show me a few moves than the renowned Pachucos of Ciudad Juárez? The Pachuco counterculture, with its suits and love for swing music, was born during Prohibition as an act of defiance against conformity.
Tell me a little bit about Pachuco culture.
It was a rebellious group against the society and all the stuff that was happening. It was a way to stand up.
Violeta Casas is the founder of Movimiento Pachuco, a group that is still as defiant of cultural norms, but having more family fun than ever. Mateo Zapata's parents invited some Pachucos to his 8th birthday party, and he was hooked. He's still learning basic math, but his moves are adding up to a future legend.
¿Por qué quisiste formar parte de los Pachucos?
Pues a mí me gusta mucho cómo se visten, cómo bailan y me gusta mucho esta cultura.
Es el único ya en la familia pues, que le nació el gusto.
Muy bonito
y muy representativo de aquí de Ciudad Juárez.
During Prohibition, Americans poured into Ciudad Juárez for legal libations. Fittingly, we're storming the Kentucky bar that's just steps from El Paso, Texas. It's also the rumored birthplace of another cultural phenomenon, the margarita.
¿Qué es la especialidad del Kentucky?
Bueno, mira, aquí se inventó la margarita en 1946. Esa es la bebida tradicional del lugar.
Omar Lagunas, the manager, explains that the bartender created the drink for a co-worker's girlfriend who loved tequila.
Ya le pregunta a la muchacha que cómo se llama la bebida y le dice él que como ella. La muchacha se llamaba Margarita y de ahí esa es la historia, por eso lleva ese nombre.
Uy, ¿te lo piden con algún tequila en particular?
Tenemos pues lo que es el tequila centenario, que es uno de los que más piden aquí.
Teo Morales has been a bartender for 20 years, and his specialty is, of course, the famous Kentucky bar margarita.
Vamos a preparar nuestros vasos.
¿Cómo se llama aquí cuando le bateas?
Shakear.
Shakear.
Shakeado.
No en licuadora.
No.
Tú no. Margaritas are not pureed in a blender. You need to shake them. A ver, yo le hago shakey, shakey.
Muy bien. Sal, limón, tequila y nada más.
Todo junto.
Y todo
Okay.
junto.
And I'm gonna have my first sip of a classic margarita made by
Teo.
Super fresh, super cold.
Pues, es
I feel
como-
like I'm at the beach suddenly. Perfect balance de tequila, limón, orange liquor, and cold, yum. ¡Qué rico!
Debe ser fría.
Violeta, ¿con qué te gusta tu margarita? ¿Plata o reposado o añejo?
Plata.
Plata.
Y vamos a hacer esta margarita con el gran centenario que tiene 150 años.
Más de 150
Más
años.
de 150. Y ese va a ser Como eso va a ser doble. Doble shot. Doble shot de jugo de naranja, jugo de limón.
Ajá.
Doble shot de Gran Centenario,
Ajá.
reposado.
Ajá.
Y doble shot de licor de naranja.
El tequila que viene ahí desde los altos de Jalisco. Clásico con clásico.
Así que. Y esta sí,
Wow.
así como va.
Okay. The margarita is an iconic drink of Mexico and the tequila
Como el
is an
tequila.
iconic spirit of Mexico. Aquí estamos en el Kentucky Bar. Classic with a classic, with a classic, with a classic.
Exacto.
¿Y usted qué se va a tomar?
Pues vamos a ¿por qué no?
¡Salud!
Salud.
Gracias, qué rico. Pero tengo mucha hambre, estoy viendo que ya comieron todos.
Son los
Beyond the margarita, you have to try another Borderland invention, nachos. Kentucky Bar's cheesy, crunchy sirloin nachos are a revelation.
Están buenísimos.
Sí, qué
Están
bueno.
buenísimos. These are so good. It's like the classic nachos, but with refried beans, melty cheese, and the classic pickled jalapeno. ¡Salud!
From Ciudad Juárez to my kitchen, I've got you covered for a classic nacho recipe you can whip together at home.
Enrique, I'm so excited that you're here. Not only because you're my friend and you're an amazing cook, but you come from the Borderlands. The nachos are like the iconic Borderland food.
Yes.
And you come from,
Piedras Negras,
which is,
which is a small city in the border with Eagle Pass, Texas.
but it's the
And
birthplace.
It's the birthplace of the nachos.
So
We have the biggest festival for the nacho in the world. So yes.
let's start making the
Yes.
totopos. So we're gonna make carne asada nachos.
Okay.
I got inspired by the nachos I ate at the Kentucky Bar. So I have the corn tortillas. I think the easiest thing to do is to brush the tortillas with oil, and then we can cut them into pieces. I have a knife for me and a knife for you. You can choose.
I want this one.
This is so
It's
kind
shiny.
of me. So kind of me. I'm letting you choose your knife first. Tengo un baking sheet. Can you brush my pan too
Sure.
with oil? And then I want you to tell me the story of how the nachos came to be, because you've told me that this
So
is
this is
like,
what I know. So Ignacio Anaya, Don Nacho, right? In Mexico, to the Ignacios, you call it Nacho.
Nacho.
He worked at a club. I think the
The
name was
Victory Club.
The Victory Club, exactly. And one day, a group of American ladies, regular to the restaurant, they asked Don Nacho a new snack, let's say, right? And he came to the kitchen and he did this, exactly what we're doing. So basically tortilla, he added cheese
I'm gonna cut this
and
into
sliced jalapeno,
a sensation.
a sensation.
But I wanted to tell you, so totopos tortilla chips are so important.
Yes.
For nachos, of course. And there's, I mean, you know, because you're a cook, there's two ways, well, there's three ways really to make totopos or tortilla chips.
Yes.
One is you can deep fry them in oil.
Uh-huh.
The other one is you can bake them in the oven with a little bit
And
of
I think
oil
that's
that
the
we're doing.
traditional one.
The baked
That's
in the
how
oven, right?
Ignacio Naya did it, yes.
Yeah. You could also toast them on the
Yes.
grill. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. I have the oven at 375 and I do like 15 minutes. We're gonna flip them, but meanwhile, we're going to marinate meat because we're gonna make carne asada nachos.
That's a
or-
sophisticated way for the nachos.
Tengo falda para hacer arrachera.
Skirt.
Yeah. I love skirt steak because it is so packed with flavor.
Yes.
Like you get the beefy flavor and you get the grains, which are so nice to bite into. And I didn't know this, but I realized that arrachera is a falda or a skirt steak that has been marinated with like a witch's brew of sorts,
Yeah.
which is what you're gonna help me do.
Super.
¿Me ayudas a hacer ahí? So I cut the skirt steak just into like 3-4 inch pieces just to make it easy to grill. Here, let me rinse my hands. But we're gonna marinate, so we're gonna add I have 3 tablespoons of soy sauce there.
Okay, we start with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a teaspoon of Dijon.
Okay.
And then we have a tablespoon of salsa inglesa.
Salsa inglesa.
Okay, and then we're gonna do freshly squeezed lime juice.
It's great.
Ajá.
Okay. Where's
Let's
my
try.
knife? Yes, this is mine.
Te sientes como en un operating room. Now we're gonna do lime juice.
Lime. Okay.
And then, so the lime juice is great because it will give flavor to the meat, but it also tenderizes it a little, and we need that with falda. Okay, so I'm adding salt, and I'm adding pepper, and then we're gonna grab 2 garlic cloves.
No?
I'm telling you, Enrique knows what he's doing.
Do you want me to... Cut it
Finely
or not?
chopped. Yes, like super finely chopped. Mira, and you're holding the knife right.
No, you do this. I do this.
No, that, yeah. Okay, Enrique, you're approved in my kitchen. Okay, now we're gonna throw in the garlic.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm adding the meat here. And I mean,
Smells amazing.
it smells amazing. Let's check on the chips. Let me rinse my hands again. Okay, we're gonna flip them. I like them super crazy crispy.
Okay.
I know people that like the nachos soft.
Yes.
Is that you?
Well, nachos are very similar to chilaquiles, right?
Yes.
And it's a breakfast dish.
Yes.
But chilaquiles, we like it in our family. We like it like very soft,
No.
right? So,
No.
so you
Wow. No. Okay, just putting the chips back in or the totopos for another 15 minutes so they'll be super crispy. So now we're gonna grill the meat. Okay, so I have these. Are you a parrillero?
Yes, but you can do it with your hands here.
Okay.
That sound, it's just crazy, right?
It is so crazy. Yum. Okay, do you want to rinse your hands? Okay, let's talk about Mennonite cheese. While I was there, I learned that Chihuahua cheese is the Mennonite cheese made in Chihuahua. But so taste it, try it. Tell me what you think.
It's super good.
I don't know how to describe it. It's so good. It's like
It's
a.
very strong.
If you can't find Mennonite or Chihuahua cheese, you can use Monterey Jack, Munster, cheddar. Okay, I'm gonna take these out because these looks ready. Because we want it juicy, right? Let's taste it. Let's see if the marinade is on point.
Okay. I think it is.
The chips are getting ready. I wanna make sure they're not soggy. I think that the totopos or the chips, either if you bake them or you fry them, they can go very quickly from perfectly golden to burnt.
Yes,
So
in 2 minutes.
you guys have to be careful. Once they start getting golden brown, take them out because they'll burn fast after that. Ve que rica la carne. That is like,
We're ready.
the color is so gorgeous, right? Now I have refried pinto
Yes.
beans.
The cheese is at top of the beans, right?
Yes, because you want the cheese to be super melty.
Okay. This is
This
just...
is gorgeous. And now we need to add the chiles. Jalapenos, I raised the heat to 400.
Okay.
You can do 400, 425. And then put these in just until the cheese melts.
Yes.
As we wait for that, we can cut some avocado.
Okay.
Nice. Slices.
Mira nomás.
Mira nada más lo que nos traes de la frontera. I'm going in.
Let's go, let's do it.
Super feeling generous bite. This food is so unapologetically delicious. It's like the beans are flavorful, The Mennonite cheese is insane.
Wow, this is great. That's why you go to the stadium, not to watch the football, but to eat nachos.
The burrito became popular during the Mexican Revolution, and now it's famous worldwide, but it's still best enjoyed in northern Mexico. And El Compa en Ciudad Juárez is a formidable contender for the best burrito around.
Hola. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están?
Muy bien.
Pati, Jinich, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
He oído mucho de los burritos del compa.
The late Alfonso Olivares opened El Compa 50 years ago and quickly gained a reputation for making an exquisite burrito. After passing away in 2015, his 4 kids and small staff carry on the tradition.
¿Por qué son los burritos tan importantes para Juárez?
Yo creo fue una comida que se fue implementando con los años por la rapidez, por lo económico en su momento y porque es una zona que se utiliza mucho la tortilla de harina, yo creo también. Entonces, la combinación de un guiso con tortilla de harina fue lo que ha marcado que el burrito sea muy emblemático.
It's food on the go for workers, ¿no?
Hay mucha industria maquiladora.
Para las maquilas, es súper importante.
Sí. Their best-selling deshebrada burrito is made with tender, slow-cooked beef, jalapenos, onions, and tomatoes. Then topped with creamy avocado and finally wrapped in warm, handmade flour tortillas.
Ustedes hacen sus tortillas.
Tortillas hechas a mano. ¿Sí?
A ver, todos los días. Enséñenle. From making so many flour tortillas every day. Aquí, mire. Sí, yo lo entiendo.
Por 35 años.
35 years making, ¿cuántas tortillas al día?
500, 300 a 500.
But what I'm dying to try could only be the product of the US-Mexico borderlands. A wiener burrito. The unique combination of Vienna sausage and beans.
Entonces el winnie tiene winnie, frijol, salsita de tomate, chile colorado. Ajá.
Su toque ahí de la cocinera, ¿va?
¿Usted hizo el guisado de la winnie?
Yo hice el guisado de la winnie y el otro.
¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama?
Rocío.
Rocío, mucho gusto. Pues estoy a punto de darle una mordida a este.
Ah, ok.
Ah, le va pelando, le va mordiendo. Mira.
Su mordidita.
Es súper famous winnie burrito. Pica más, sabe más.
Y más sabroso.
Y va, salud.
Salud. Especial.
It's certainly worthy of applause, but that shredded beef burrito is what is lingering in my mind.
He says if you want to understand Ciudad Juárez, you have to understand the shredded beef burrito. So I guess I have no choice but to show you how to make it. I promised, now I'm gonna deliver. I'm gonna show you how to make your burrito de deshebrada con huevo, because that's my favorite one, at home. We're gonna start with the meat, and I have here 1 pound of flank steak. Now, you can make the filling for this burrito with brisket, with flank, with skirt steak, but I really like it with flank. And I have water that it's getting hot and I need it to start simmering. And I'm gonna cook the meat in there. I'm gonna cut the meat into like 1 to 1.5 inch chunks. Okay, I'm adding the meat in here. Let me rinse my knife, my board, and my hands. Now I need 1/2 of a white onion. It's just your basic, simple, like caldo de res preparation. We're gonna use 1/2 of the onion to cook with the meat and 1/2 of the onion to make a super delicious tomato base. We're gonna add 3 garlic cloves, 2 bay leaves, typical way to season a caldo de res or caldo de pollo. Now we're gonna bring these to a boil And once it does, you're gonna let the meat cook for about an hour to an hour and a half until the meat is really falling apart when you shred it. And that is what deshebrada means. I have some meat that I already cooked. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like caldo de res. I'm gonna remove the onion, strain the meat, and I'm gonna start making the base for seasoning the deshebrada. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna let them heat, and then I'm gonna chop half of an onion. I'm gonna finely chop this one. So in El Compa, they have the beef that's already cooked and shredded, and when you order your burrito, they add the beef to the plancha or the griddle, and then they add the onions, the jalapenos, and the tomato, and cook it all with the meat. I like to make my base first and make it really come together and make it super intense and mushy before adding the shredded meat. Okay, I'm cooking this onion until it really softens and it wilts in the oil. And then I'm adding a serrano and a jalapeno. I mean, you could choose. I'm keeping all the seeds, throwing that in there. Mix that up. We want that to soften. And then I'm adding a pound of ripe Roma tomatoes or guaje, and I'm gonna start adding the tomatoes as I chop them. So now I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. Now we're gonna shred the meat. By cooking the meat like we did, I mean, look at how the meat comes apart. By cooking it low and slow, we just made it so tender. Mix it all together. This is ready. I think the principles of burrito heaven are one phenomenal flour tortilla and one phenomenal filling, which is what we have. I'm grabbing this small pan and I'm adding some of the deshebrada. I know how good it's gonna taste, but I'm gonna prove it to you by taking one bite. So delicious. It's powerful. It's the tomato, it's concentrated. It's really spicy because I added the jalapeno and the serrano, but it's got so much taste. And I'm gonna grab a couple of eggs. I'm gonna crack them. Salt, pepper, scramble. Whenever I add my scrambled eggs to anything, I make sure that my pan is at medium-low heat and not higher because I like a soft scramble. And yeah, now it's just a simple scramble. But it's the most delicious scramble. As my eggs continue to cook, I'm gonna start cooking my flour tortillas. Now, you can make your flour tortillas at home. If you have time, don't have time, try to find flour tortillas at the store that are ready for you to cook. So all you need to do is add them to your preheated comal at medium-low heat. This one for me. Oh, it's puffing. Ah, so beautiful. This is how you know you have a good flour tortilla. Look at the puff. When it puffs, it's telling you that it's cooking from within. So it cooks on the outside, on both sides. Okay, tortilla ready. This is really the breakfast of campeones. This is what I want my breakfast to look like. I mean, El Compa burritos are outstanding, but you guys from El Compa, you have to come here and try some of mine. There's a bird in the house?
Yes. Está ahí arriba en la cortina.
Oh, it's a baby. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm going to try to open here. Aquí, mira. Can we go out? Come.